Hey there, it's Mindfulness Monday, and I'm back to talk to you this week about a mindful walking practice. It may be new to some of you, but first let's go back to our working definition. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is paying attention to what's happening in the present moment without any judgment. So observing what's happening within us, in our hearts, our minds, and our physical body, and then also what's happening outside of us, but without any judgment there or attachment. So why do we care about mindfulness? If we practice mindfulness and we pay better attention, we're better able to be fully present in all the things we do in our lives, which gives us better access to the things we value, whether that's people or creativity, love, energy, positivity, whatever it is that you value, you're better able to get to it when you are focusing in on the present moment instead of being distracted by those intrusive thoughts like about regrets about the past or hopes for the future or worries. So we're able to really be present. And so the more we practice it, the more it carries on, it carries into the rest of our life. So what is this mindful walking practice? First of all, it's going to be an intentional practice. We're going to choose to pay attention to what's happening within our bodies and also outside of us while we're walking. And this can be an informal or a formal practice. When I say an informal practice, we can just build this into every walk we have to take, right? Or when we know we're walking alone, we're heading from, we have to go to the post office to pick something up, we're walking across the post, or we're walking to a store, or we're walking through the park, we're walking the dog. You can choose to be mindful in that space, even though those are already things you're going to have to do anyway. But you can also set aside a formal practice where you are actually walking, doing a mindful walking practice where you would set aside time. And it could be as little as 5 to 10 minutes, or if you have more time, that's wonderful. And so when would we do this? Whenever you have time. Some people like to schedule things. For some people, it's a great way to start the day. Other people like to use it as a transition from different phases, maybe from work back to home, or as a break in the day. Instead of getting to get a coffee or for part of your lunch break, spending that time kind of practicing mindfulness as you walk. And you can do this inside in a room, in a small space even. You can walk around counting your steps. You can also do this outside. So from point A to point B, or just from point A back to point A, right, in our intentional practice. And so whatever you do, if you need to schedule it, you know who you are, schedule it. But if you like the flexibility of being able to incorporate this practice, then you can try doing it that way. So what are we doing? We are walking intentionally. We're noticing the mechanics of the feet, of the body as it's moving through this space. And we're also counting on our senses. So we are using our breath and using our movement, but we're also focusing in on touch, sound, smell, sight, and even taste maybe. So, all right, so we're going to get started. You can hit pause and come back when you're ready to walk, but really I'm going to just give you some prompts and some ways to think about it because we only have a few minutes left on our Mindfulness Monday video, but you can do this then when you have more time. So first, we're just going to take a few moments to breathe in deeply here and notice where we're standing on the earth. And maybe set an intention before we start our movement, what you want to do in this moment. Maybe I need to clear my mind. It's a transition time for me. Maybe I want to have some other sort of intention, the reason I want to practice mindfulness and the things that I want to be present for today as well. So giving these minutes fully to my senses and to this practice. And then after that, starting to walk normally and starting to focus in on the sensation in the body, on what that's like as the feet strike, hit the ground and then step back up from it, noticing how the legs move with those feet as well, and how we're moving through space. And we always can return to that sensation of the movement and the focus on the movement. We could even count our steps and we could focus on synchronizing the breath and the step. When we get those intrusive thoughts, we can just always return to the step, to the movement there. So now getting started about our senses as well. Maybe at this point, noticing how we are standing and walking on the earth. What does it feel like? Is it a flat surface? Is it wet? Is it solid? Are there things shifting under you while you're walking on the earth? How are you moving in this space? Next, let's listen. What do you hear around you? It's always good to be paying attention to our surroundings. And so what do you hear? What sounds do you hear? Now, listen to those sounds, but also don't label them as pleasant or unpleasant. Just notice them. Notice what you're hearing as you walk through. Now, maybe switching to smell. Maybe if you've become distracted, heading back to focusing in on the body, and on the actual steps. But smell, what does it smell like? Breathe in deeply and notice if there are any smells. If it's outside, can you smell fall? And what does that smell like to you? If you're inside, what do you smell there? And now focusing in, choosing to focus on what we see. Maybe colors, objects, people. What's around you? What are you noticing? Again, no judgment, no need to attach a story to what we're seeing, just noticing what's around us. And then taste is the final kind of frontier here. Do you taste anything on your walk? What does it taste like in the air? That air that you feel touching your skin. Can you taste anything? Do you smell things in it? Focusing in on all of those sensations. And with openness and curiosity, noticing any sensations, thoughts, or feelings that arise, and just moving through that. Now, let's pause at the end of our walk. Maybe think about what we want to have and take with us for the rest of the day. And now I will see you all next week. Thanks for being here.